I guess just kind of explain how the program works to start with.
Well, the program is called FL Studio. This is the main interface. Push, stop, record. You also have 3 different options what you want to record. These buttons up here. This is a metronome, countdown to when recording. This is a channel sequencer where you would put anything from your drums, your snares or claps, your hats, your instruments, everything else.
This is the browser. This is where you keep all of your sounds, all of your drum kits, your samples, everything you have will be in this. This is one of the hundreds of drum kits that I have. You come in here and you have different kicks, different genres. What you do is you click on one and it makes a sound so you can audition the sound before you put it in your project. And then you move it over and you can just drop it in the step sequencer. We've already got a kick in there. We have the electric kick right here. So you move that and drop it, and you do that with all the sounds. Close to that once you have your sounds, and this is the step sequencer. Right now we have it muted so it's just the kick, 135 tempo, and you just push play. And it goes, and it loops back. This is where you essentially lay down the whole beat. A lot of people may do it different, but the way I do it is I'll put the entire beat in here. It'll get to the point to where it's at the very bottom of the screen, so you'd have to start scrolling down in it because it can't keep all of it. Once you've got the whole beat made and you're ready to lay it down, this is a playlist. A lot of people use this stuff now, which is new with FL Studio 9 or 8. I don't do it like that. I do it like this. Open these up. You could go split by channel and it'll put everything in automatically. Your whole project will get automatically named and put. And this is where you can lay your whole beat out exactly the way you want it. Everything will have its own channel. So that's the channel sequencer. This is a piano roll. You can also get to this. If I wanted to edit my hats, I'd click on this and bring up the piano roll. Let me solo this right here. Then I can come here, I can adjust the velocities, where I want the hats, how long I want them to be, how short, apart from each other. You can edit all that in the piano roll. And this right here is your mixer. You can link up all of your instruments, every single sound you have going, up to this mixer. And then you have filters, your parametric EQ in number 1 and 2, phaser, reverb, compression, delay, all of that, all for mixing and mastering. So that's pretty much the basics of it. There's not much to it. It's not really a complicated program. The interface, since the screen is big, everything's right there, it's all plain and simple in front of you, that makes it so it's not really that hard of a program to use.
So, what exactly is Nexus?
Nexus is, basically it's a virtual instrument. You have arpeggios, bass, classical, dance leads, epic pads, all of these categories with presets that come in each category. So that's basically what a VST is. It's just way different, hundreds of different instruments that you can use on your project. You go to insert, and how you do that is these are called channel pads. You would right click, which brings up this menu, and you can insert or replace. And I have several different VSTs here. Nexus is probably the best thing that you can have right now. Not only does it come with just the standard sounds that it comes with, the presets that come with it, because you can buy expansions, as you can see right here. It has the XP next to these.
These are all expansions that I bought after I bought Nexus. The presets that come with it is everything from arpeggios down to voice right here. Everything else, this is what comes with it. Everything else under here is XP I bought with it. But with voice and up to arpeggios, everything in this is amazing, and you could be totally fine with just using these. Yeah, and so that's voice, and this comes with the program when you buy it. You don't have to buy this category. But if you have this program, I would recommend, if you like that strings and choir and all that, I would recommend going and buy the Hollywood expansion. The expansions are $65, but this has even better sounds. And like I said, voice that comes with Nexus, it's fine as it is. You don't really need to go and buy expansions. Those sound fine as they are. But if you want to, and you like choirs and strings and epic sounds, the Hollywood expansion is perfect. They have stuff like this that just sounds epic. And all I'm doing is holding down one button, and then I'll set in a couple notes on the side, and you get that out of it. So you can get real creative with that. The coolest thing about Nexus, beyond all this stuff, you can go over here to the right on this tab called Mix, and you can even come in here and you can edit sounds. If you know how to do like sound design, this is perfect. See, I just took the drums and everything out. So this is cool for sound design. You have your EQs over here that you can edit. Notch to bypass 2, high pass, high shelf, low shelf, on all 4 of them. If you want to get real technical with it, you can come over here that says library, and you have I don't know how many different effects. Everything from real 8-bit sounds or effects to crush flanger, distorted chorus, stereo effects, phaser, flangers, ensemble, distorted if you want to. This right here is called portamento, and basically what that does is you can make notes slide onto each other. Just with this tool, you have your speeds of how fast you want it to slide, instant, 164, 132. You can basically make a lead synth out of literally anything. I have my own presets up here, and which is another, like I was saying, the thing that really sets Nexus off with me is you can do your own sound design on it, make your own sounds, and you can save your presets and name them whatever you want. And these are all my presets, everything on here. I don't like to say I didn't make them from scratch, because I made them all from already what's saved on here. I made them off of a preset. See right here, I used Double Saw, which is in the expansion called Sid. And Double Saw right here, this is the preset I used, but it doesn't sound like that preset anymore. It's because the way I redid it. It sounds completely different from what the original Double Saw sounded like. So that's really good with sound design. You can make your own sound, set up your own library, and really get your own sound going just off this one program. You can just get Nexus with the regular presets. You can go buy expansions. They have a whole bunch of expansions on the Reflex site. So yeah, that's Nexus, the FL Studio, real simple to use, and I've been in love with it since FL Studio 1. I've never used any other program.
Obviously, you got the dual monitors going, so you got the whole piano hooked up to the back of your tower too. And
Yep. Drum pads right here.
C5, D5, E5. I've linked up from C5 to C6 and everything in between. I don't really use these. If I wanted to, I could get them linked up to this mixer so that I can just have these going with that. I don't really use these anymore, or these. Really the only thing I use over here is the transpose button. You can go up octaves on the display. You can go down octaves. Yeah, that's about the only thing I use. I don't have these. This is a pitch bend and the modulation, and I don't really have these working yet. I don't have them linked up to anything. But if I wanted to, this button right here could be linked up to this. Right there, linked up. Move it up and move down. So I move it up and move up, down and down. What that would do
I like that. That's a cool sound.
It's getting spooky in here.
So what would you say your whole setup would be worth? Piano, system, computer,
I
program.
got this for $150, but it's worth way more.
this over here is 168, and the little black one on top of that is 100. These speakers were 68.
Those dual monitors I got for free. I don't know the real price. This was built for me for free. The laptop's expensive, but I got that for free too. A lot of stuff I have was given to me.
Didn't that computer guy?
And this is $98.
Didn't that computer guy hook you up?
Got the computer shop built this for me from the ground up. It's really good, really fast. But that's just what you see. The studio, the program is $200 or more. And all my drum kits and everything that I have range from either 20 to 35 to 50 to like $75. And I have a lot of those. So probably up near thousands. And I'm still building. I have a huge library of kits that I don't even really use. Depending on the type of beat I make, it's the type of kit that I run to, and I have a lot of kits. So I'd say up in the thousands of dollars. That's just talking with the program and with the kits. This is a inspiration kit from Superstar O. I think this was $25, I think, if I remember right. And I have a lot of his kits. I have that inspiration kit, motivation, undefeated, SSO kit, volume 2. I think I have another one. I don't know where it's at. I think those range from $20 to $30 if I remember right. I could be wrong. I don't really look at the price when I buy them. I just buy them.
If it sounds good, it's good enough to you and you don't care.
Yeah, if it comes from him, then I'm buying it. Johnny Giuliano too. I got a lot of his kits. I have most of my kits are kits from him. I want to. I know I have at least 4. Just from him alone.
And how much was the Nexus?
300. Just the program. Nexus by itself, $300. You can go to the site. It's refx.com. can get expansions. And each expansion is $65. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 expansions. This is 3 effects. You come in here and there's regular price right here. It just comes with the regular program and the regular presets. Or you can go and buy the complete set, which comes with every single expansion for $2,519. Over here to expansion, and they get new expansions like every month, probably more often than that. But each one's $65. I think if you go down, they drop in price. Nope. Yeah, $65 for each expansion. In the holidays and stuff like that, they have sales. They'll drop down from $65 to about $50 or $45. But yeah, really good site, really good products. These are other products that they have. I have Vengeance sample pack and sound sets in the future. I want the Essential Dubstep Volume 1, that's going to be $100. So nothing's cheap, but it's my job, it's my career, and I love spending money on it. And I spend money to make money.
So DJ, how exactly do you help out with making beats with Murphy?
We both have the same program, FL Studio, and we'll work together and we'll just kind of share ideas and stuff. And this is one of the first beats that we've actually really collaborated on when it came to making the beat itself in terms of just like the main melody and everything. But normally how it would work is he comes up with something, he makes a beat in FL Studio, and then I import it to my program. I have another program on my computer called Pro Tracks, and I would import it and then put guitar over it. So we just kind of collab with guitar and hip-hop, techno also. And I don't even know what we would call our genre.
Some sort of electronic type.
Yeah, it's some sort of fusion.
Because, yeah, the only real instrument going on right now is a physical keyboard and a guitar. Everything else is on the computer.
Yeah, pretty much.
So how does your guitar work? You just hook it up to your amp and like there's a cable that goes to your computer, or how does that work?
I can show you. I've got everything comes from this here, and I would hook my instrument cable from my guitar into this, and then this goes USB into my computer, and I have it hooked up to those speakers, which are pretty wimpy speakers. Normally I use some nice headphones, but for demonstration purposes, speakers. But I can cycle through a bunch of presets I have on here. It's kind of hard to see because it's like bright green on bright green display, but all these different effects. Basically, I just go through all the presets that I normally use and just see if I can find something that sounds good. And that's my world. It's pretty simple.
It looks pretty simple.
Yeah, it's everything comes from that. Basically, that's a pretty expensive piece of hardware.
Yeah, usually when you guys are making your beats, you're both in your own little sections with your headphones on, kind of in your own separate worlds.
We're either working on the same thing or working on something completely different.
Do you ever get the, oh, I was doing this, what'd you come up with? And I was like, oh, I came up with something completely different.
Yeah.
And sometimes they work together.
I'll be in here working on like pure hip hop or pure R&B, and then I'll go in there and I'll just hear something that's like 175 tempo or something. That's not how I was making it all. Alright, I'm gonna show everybody how to make a simple lead. This right here, which is a classic JP leader 3, can be found in the single layer leads. Classic JP leader 3. The sound we'll be working with today. We're just going to do some sound design with it. Try to make something completely different. To the point where you won't even be able to tell what the main preset was. What I've done is I put a high pass filter on it. Actually, make this better. We're going to just go to a SID, which is 8-bit sounds. Put a high pass filter on it. Portamento on it. What I put on it was a flanger, and the preset is called In the Box. Over to our second effects category, put some distortion on it. Go up a couple octaves. As you can see, I took out the bass, and we're just left with that SID chop, that 8-bit chop. Take that out. Then we have just the bass, which putting the portamento on, we made the synth lead. I'm gonna and see if you'll be able to tell right here. This is just the synth. If we select number 2, it'll put that choppiness kind of back on it. With it off, it just makes the synth sound more clear. When I'm dealing with synths, this is release. What that'll do, if I let go of the key, the sample will stop right away. But if I turn the release on, if I have it over anything over 0, the sound is going to keep going. So I have release down and sustain down. Spread, what this is going to do, you can see right here, over here, with each press of the key, it'll switch, it'll pan. Spike, that'll bring more of that choppiness back to it. We don't want that because we're trying to make a synth. Attack. What attack does is basically it's an envelope. Attack means when the volume is going to come into play. It'll slowly come into volume. We've covered spike. What spread does, the attack. Again, we want our attack. We want our attack immediately because we're making a synth, but it'll mess with the filter. how we cut off to be recorded. And we're gonna leave this at 0. Again, messing with all these, all of it will change the sound. Decay, release, all in on 0. We don't want, really what I'm making right now has nothing to do with this, but while we're at it, you know, I want to explain it to all of you. This is a gate you can be used for, it can be used for making dubstep, dance, pop, all that. Again, the cool thing with Nexus comes with plenty of other presets. Again, let's go ahead and click this one. Even though you have a preset, the presets are good, Nexus still allows you to come in and change everything to exactly how you want it, which is why I love it so much. Really good tool for sound design. Arpeggiator. What this is going to do is just going to give me random notes. Again, I'm just holding one key. It's doing all this. We're not going to use the arpeggiator for this one. Rudimento. I like to, you have 3 different types of portamento you can choose from, as well as 3 different categories of speed. Over here, for anybody who likes to do make dubstep, everybody knows what wobbles are. What I did here is I came in here and I changed the LFO1. And we're going to come in and go to filter cut, go for the LFL1 right here, and these are all different speeds. So we're going to have the sustain back on because we're going to need this bass sample to keep going, and this is what we've come up with. Alright, this is the Hollywood expansion of Nexus that you can buy on their website. It's refx.com. I'm in the Hollywood expansion, Nexus 2. I'm using a sequence called Arming for Battle. What a sequence is a preset that has basically enables you to just hold down one key of your keyboard, MIDI controller, whatever you're using. Just hold down one key and you'll get what is a sequence. It has strings that go along with it. Another thing with the sequence is sometimes they're split up. So one key will be an entire beat that I'm going to demo right now. This is just me. This is just one key. That's holding out one key, and you get the entire product of that preset. Over on the other side of the keyboard, if you have a MIDI keyboard, I also have strings that I can play along with it. So what I'm going to be doing, as you can see over here, I'm going to be holding down E4, which is going to be the sequence, and E7, which is higher up on the keyboard, playing different notes with the strings, and this is what you'll get.
can change them up with everything. What I'm going to do now here is, this is with everything on. You get the whole effect. I'm going to take, these are the drums, this is strings, and this is a brass. I'm going to take everything but the drums out. That's why Nexus is so good, that you can have something like this and then go in and just completely dissect the sample to how exactly how you want it. Pick on 3 so I can have the strings up on my higher octave. Cut that out and bring the drums in with the strings. Just like the synth that we made earlier, you can come in here to your library and you have all these effects that you can put on it. Along with the effects, you can come in here and still edit the effects along with the sample. Change your tempo and slow it down, which by doing that can be used in any kind of tempo. Anything in Nexus can be used for whatever you want to use it as. Another cool thing on here that I like is Sweet Split. This is another example of things being split between lower octaves and higher octaves of the keyboard. Those are sequences in Nexus. Again, it's Nexus 2 and can be found on refx.com, which is refx.com.
Did you put it all on the playlist?
Yeah, I'll just show
Yeah, there needs to be like some change of melody going over it.
so that's why we're dragging, making this beat.
Oh, that's fine.
Whoa. That's why we did it so early, so you take your time.
This is all kind of on the fly. So that's how we do.
What are you thinking?
There's something, it might be the thing sounded to me like the Nexus 2 I put in there was kind of
So when you're actually like hitting the keyboard, it's just kind of playing in the background, or is it actually recording that part?
It only records when I have it on record.
Okay.
I can play it and then just freestyle without recording it.
I think for melody, like for this part, it's good. I don't think there needs to be another layer underneath it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because I can't help it on bad and it sounded like
Just how the song will start. Have the song start with just that violin and that first Nexus melody. And then that Mass Effect reset. They're in a song, they always seem to have that really big
coolest thing in that kind of music, which is why I love it so much, is the build-up. Yeah, you'd have it going. And then it comes to build up.
my least favorite part is having to name all the patterns.
I wouldn't have to, but easy got messed up.
Is that just because of your sound card?
Yeah. Too much going on.
I want that build up in there multiple times.
So right now you're just structuring how the rest of the song's gonna go. Now that you've gotten basically everything in there that you want.
Much.
I'm bringing in volume automation so that can build up.
After that part where it kind of like dies down again and then goes back into it, if there should be a sample of like a woman's voice singing, but like kind of chopped up like dubstep style, you know how in Summit, kind of by Skrillex, that you know, it's like a woman's voice, but it's
You know, what part, like right here?
well, kind of, I don't know. It could. Yeah, I mean, it could come in like a couple of bars before it goes into the, when it fully comes in with everything.
Maybe like halfway in between or something.
Yeah.
For me, sample I know that I got like that, and it's been working pretty well for me.
You're so hypnotizing. Could you be the devil? Could you?
Any of those would be good if we really chop it up correctly.
Thing I just did with the electro beat that I made last night for the King Koopa EP, I did something like this. I had it chopped up like that, except it was slower and sounded better.
I think I heard you making that, and it does sound awesome. She has a really good voice. Bro.
Alright, let's save it so it's saved. There, now.
I'm the Jerry of this project. If you ever watch Parks and Recreation, everybody hates Jerry, and every time he gives his input, they're like, Jerry, come on, let's get serious. I'm that guy right now. You know Katy Perry sounds, she's got a really good voice. DJ, this is not the time for jokes.
Maybe Katy Perry sample.
Question mark?
Her hat. Right now we're doing is finding the key. Each 100 of the pitch is another key up. So what I'm doing is going by key by key by key until we get to A.
Trial and error.
Yeah, definitely.
There it is. That's perfect.
But I'm not gonna sync it up with that. I'm gonna,
It's underwater.
Schmeep shop.
What?
Yep. Katy Perry.
Yep, it's really her.
Mute everything. Save.
Sounds so good.
Yeah, it does.
Yes, I love how it just stops like that.
I'm putting the envelope on the master volume so it can fade out.
Had her voice coming in right there. I wonder if,
Want me to fade that in?
well, like, I'm trying to describe this. Instead of her just doing that full part, what if it was just like a quarter of that, and then it was kind of like, with your idea of bringing in that element, just kind of, it's just kind of a short bit of it. So she just does her weird voice thing for like a quarter of that.
Your weird voice.
I don't want to try and imitate it. 'Cause there's
That
no-
part where she just tries to sing but fails, let's go ahead and put that in. Alright, let's clone it then.
And basically just chop a quarter of it off. I guess you can chop in 3/4.
I show me what you want to cut off that.
Like, right in there, something. Right there, when she goes, when it just that fourth line ends, and then it could just echo out a little bit. It could be in the background too,
Okay.
like kind of reverb.
Do you want that to, want that? Yeah, where it gets really
to
high.
fade
out and echo out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just that can be like more quiet and just kind of in the background for certain parts to just pop up.
You want it to
Yeah, just kind of a short delay, not a super random delay. You know how in Nexus there's an effect called degrader? Is there any of that in here? Wait, is that not playing?
click on tab.
So we'll just switch on our voice like that to make it sound.
So it just keeps resetting after a certain point, or?
I haven't even turned it on. That's just what DJ and Ben were saying. This is my first time touching it since the last time you were here.
Which was 24 hours ago.
Yep. Think it'd be better to start in safe mode and do all this.
Maybe. I don't even know why it's coming up with this screen because we shut it down properly.
Yes, I would like to set it up. Say shut off any second and everything will be gone.
Yeah,
I don't want to hurry.
When I was doing that earlier, we would open one program and it would restart.
There we go.
It's too much for the processor or whatever.
Hold the button in until the green light goes on.
Well, not good.
Unplug your computer and plug it back in, and then try turning it back on.
This is just nerve-wracking. I don't care how long it takes, as long as it gets all copied, and then we can go outside and, I know what we should do. Go back and just give the thing to Jason.
Is that thing
It's completely empty here. take your DDR Generation 1 back. I don't want it.
Can't believe it. I mean, it's a free computer, so you can't really complain, but
That's what I was telling him. That's probably why it was free. He just made a computer with old parts.
yeah, DDR.
There's so many times I offered to pay him.
So he could get rid of it. That's probably why he did it. Because he's like, oh, I'm never going to sell these, so I'll just make a computer and give it to him. That's my opinion anyways.
That's probably what it is. He's already. He knows what I'm doing with this stuff. He knows I need a lot of equipment.
That guy's a little different.
Can you stop preparing to copy and actually copy?
No. It's got so much to copy.
No.
No.
I think you should add in this
No.
No! Well, at least you have your laptop with the same program and everything on there.
Yeah, but everything that I'm working on is on here. It needs to be on there. I would hate to have to restart everything. Just copies, I'm good. I will take this thing out on the street and light it on fire.
It's a waiting game right now.
Returnable wouldn't be done. It'd be a terrible day at work, not knowing whether or not this is working.
I'm so excited for you to get a Beats computer. One of those sick computers we were looking at last night.
$695.
It's not bad.
Or $645, I mean.
It's not bad.
No, it's not for what it is. For what it is, that's awesome. And restart.
Do Shift Tab when it pops up again.
Restart.
What?
Just, it'd be one, wouldn't it? Just a local drive boot.
Yeah.
Not doing anything. Oh, there it goes.
Is that it? Just restarting
Do it now. It's like, yeah.
What the hell?
It's screwed. There's nothing. I'm literally watching my career just crash before me. You're never gonna do it right.
So you go to safe mode. Is it gonna go?
supposed to do that.
It should have already gone by now.
Oh yes, the Matrix.
There it goes.
Okay.
So many years of work.
Shouldn't be good.
Yeah.
You're gonna be up all night copying shit over.
Yeah, unfortunately, I gotta go to work, so I can't even do this. I'm gonna be a damn nervous wreck at work, too.
Well, at least you know it's not crashing on you right now.
Yeah.
So the other day, what exactly happened to your computer?
We made that beat, it was all running fine, we shut it down, I went to work. I remember that DJ still had to lay some guitar on it, and so I texted him and I told him, you can go ahead and, you know, boot it back up and lay some guitar down to it if you want to, you know, that way you can have it written and ready when I got back home. And he texted me back and he said the computer was restarting when he would turn it on. And I had another buddy of mine was here, and he knows a lot about computers, and he took a look at it, and it turns out I had a bunch of outdated software that was just running on its last leg forever. He said the things I was doing on it, he said it was a miracle it was working. And so it basically, the guts of the computer ended up just getting fried. And it slowly started to crash. here. I went and bought this external hard drive, and luckily I was able to get everything copied off of it and onto this laptop, which is where we got the studio now, temporarily. And I'm getting a brand new computer next month. It's gonna be close to $800, and we'll be good then. But for now, this is a temporary setup. The dual monitors, the laptop, Axiom 49, same speakers, same basic setup we had last time, just with the laptop. And it's really messy. You see everything's unorganized, but only for this month. Next month, I'll be back to normal. And I'll have my 2 monitors back here, and it'll be looking just like it did at the beginning.
What exactly is the new computer going to be able to do?
Well, it was made. It's an HP, and it's with the Beats audio line. With the Beats by Dre, it's that kind of computer. So it's specifically made for studio use and for sound and for music. Basically, how you can buy a computer that's built for gaming, that's hardcore for gaming.
Yeah.
This is basically what that computer is going to be for music. It's just gonna be a beast. The sound output, the way it's gonna sound, is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be able to put up with way more than this thing did. It's Windows 7 64-bit. It's FL Studio 9 that I have. I'm gonna be upgrading to FL Studio 10 next month as well. And what that's gonna do is gonna be running for this right here, this program right here. Right here, it's called Nexus 2. And it's 32-bit. I can't really tell you the difference between 32-bit and 64-bit yet. But I know 64-bit is way better with sound output, quality, performance, everything's improved with 64-bit. And this computer I'm going to get next month is going to be able to run everything in FL Studio 64-bit, and FL Studio 10 runs everything 64-bit. And that's a lot of things that people have been putting up with FL Studio for the longest time. Why a lot of people don't like it is because it doesn't run 64-bit, and a lot of people complain that the sound output and the quality isn't industry standard like Pro Tools would be. A lot of people like Logic Pro, but FL Studio 10 really made an improvement on that from what I heard. So, FL Studio 10 and combined with this new HP that I'm getting next month, I'm going to be better than ever. And I'm just being patient right now and dealing with this messy setup that I have here that's really ugly. I hate it. But only for a little bit longer. When this thing crashed, I knew immediately what I was going to have to go looking for. It was just no matter how much it was going to cost. But I'll be able to afford it. Hopefully that lasts me like 4 or 5 years, hopefully longer.
As long as it lasts longer than this one did.
Yeah.
This one lasted you how long?
Not even a year. I don't even think a year. And if it did, it wasn't too long of a year. This is the final product. This is the beat. It's done. That's a wrap.
Illmatic Productions. Illmatic Productions. Mix.
What are we live?
At 100% usage.
Big Daddy
Swine time.
What I'm doing right now.
FL Studio 1, they call it Lego, Legacy, not Lego blocks.
This guy was free. What do you wanted?
A VST, which means a virtual, I don't know what VST means.
Really spells out a lot, but what do you mean? Don't. So my mom can make a better beat than your dad could. So my dad's dead. My dad killed him yesterday.
And that is the official title. This is my keyboard, yes.
This is Bugs.
You just have the brace, you get the brass, then you just have the brace.
You have no idea how much fun we have with this.
I was looking at the specs of it, it's all Spanish.
We're good. Like this thing's got a floppy disk inserted in the front of it. I named it Illmatic DJ Nick Kern Austin beat hell yeah doggy. Who's gonna use that? What does floppy disk do? I don't even know what they ever did.
Nick's destroying everything.
This has got 4 USB drives in the back of it, but I still need a floppy disk.
Does it have a CD drive?
Whatever. Yeah, and the thing is, he put a CD drive on front of it that says it rips DVDs and it doesn't. So I'll put DVDs in there and they'll be like, oh, what's this? I don't know what this is. Okay. We got the Katie chop distorted. She's all messed up.
She's drunk.
The other part chopped up. Like she's on acid. I want to smash it with a hammer. Now, Nexus by itself. Jason? Well, here you go. This is an envelope.
You put your mail in it.
It controls volume.
Put your metaphorical mail. Went to bingo tonight.
And I won! Thought you wanted me out. You want some damn pancakes and I'll wrap it.
Damn it. Nick's still laughing.
We have to do it now. Get out of my life. You gonna play Halo in this house? Why you gonna make sounds?